But of course, most of the cameras are focused on what's being said inside the UN for the assembly. But the I-team took both conventional and hidden cameras out to shops, restaurants, and hotels. And Chris Glorioso found elites from some of the world's poorest nations seeming to live the high life on the streets of Manhattan.
Assembly is called to order.
While all the world's lofty business is debated at the UN General Assembly on First Avenue, some diplomats flock to Fifth Avenue for a different kind of business.
Are you guys with the Swaziland delegation?
Yes. These are visitors traveling with the UN delegation from the African kingdom of Swaziland. Bags in hand, they just walked out of Bergdorf Goodman, one of Manhattan's highest-end department stores.
What did you get from Bergdorf Goodman?
One of the Swazi visitors told us she didn't buy the merchandise, it was a gift. But far from Fifth Avenue's retail paradise, her homeland is struggling. UN data shows nearly 70% of Swazis live on less than $2 a day. Yet the country's UN delegation stays at one of the city's finest hotels.
The lavish spending is just endemic of autocratic politics as a whole.
NYU professor Alastair Smith studies the politics of developing nations. He says Manhattan's Tony retail district has become a playground for the third world's ruling class.
They're here for the shopping, the food, the wine, the dining. They're not here for the serious policy issues.
We found the UN delegation from Togo staying at the Mandarin Oriental Hotel, where suites go for between $8,000 and $18,000 a night. Meanwhile, 2.4 million Togolese people survive on less than $1.25 a day. Members of Togo's entourage were less than thrilled to see our cameras outside the hotel.
I said, no, you can't do it. Why?
After trying to cover the lens, one man tried to bat the camera away.
No, you can't videotape me.
Across town, the UN delegation from Mali chose to stay at the Waldorf Astoria. Mali is the third poorest nation in the world according to UN numbers. Nearly 5 million people face starvation here. Still, this Mali diplomat wasn't ashamed to tell me he's sleeping in one of New York's most expensive hotels.
Is it really okay for you to be staying at the Waldorf Astoria, a very expensive hotel?
Yeah, Waldorf Astoria, Mali.
It may be unseemly for diplomats from poor nations to live large in New York, but local chambers of commerce say there is one undeniable upside: receipts for local businesses.
I don't think it's really up to us to moderate the types of spending that come from other countries. That's their business. What I'm concerned is with the economic impact in the city. And regardless of who's spending the money, I like the money. I want the money.
We should also point out not every developing nation chooses to stay at lavish hotels. We found members of the Tanzania delegation at the DoubleTree. Still, nonprofits that monitor developing nations are becoming increasingly sensitive to the issue of third world rulers spending money abroad. The group 100 Reporters is holding a contest to see if New Yorkers can snap photos of UN diplomats spending money ostentatiously. We have linked to that contest on our website, NBCNewYork.com. The UN General Assembly, of course, will finish up tomorrow. Back to you.